While I personally think that The Boys is a really good show, there are people who complain about the writing and also complain about the fact that it's woke. And some of the criticism is accurate, but other criticism not so much. Because I do believe that The Boys makes fun of both political ideologies. While it makes fun for the Trump stand-in, and it also makes fun about the Me Too and systemic racismus, it also makes fun of AOC lookalikes, and it makes fun of corporate virtue signaling. And there may even be an Amber Heard reference, where the woman that was in too deep goes on and lies about the fact that the Deep was actually abusing her, when in reality she was dominating and controlling him at every step of the way. But let's talk about some of the things that I personally didn't like, and some of the things that legitimately do not make sense, and they are accurate criticisms. For example, when Mother's Milk and the stepfather have a conversation, the stepfather is defending Homelander while Mother's Milk is against Homelander. And there is a line of dialogue that's being thrown away where Mother Milk says, if you would stop watching internet conspiracy theories and internet videos, you would see that the Homelander is the monster that he actually is. However, due to the show's writing, we know that the mainstream media is actually controlled by Vought. And as such, the mainstream media would be very favorable to Homelander. And throughout the show, we see the media giving Homelander airtime where he can accuse Starlight of being involved with pedophilia. The only accusations against Homelander are brought on social media. That's where Starlight is uploading her videos, and that's probably the only place that you can get any hint that Homelander is a bad dude. So the writers, I suppose, trying to transport real-life politics in the movie, completely forgot about all of this. And in real life, because the left is saying, well, the evil conservatives, they're getting their information from obscure websites and conspiracy theories. In the world of The Boys, given what the writers have wrote, you would have to go on obscure websites and conspiracy theories to find out that Homelander is anything but an angel. Now, I'm going to move on to what I consider to be the worst part of the last season. You see, the writers want us to believe that Soldier Boy is bad. They had numerous interviews where they said that he represents toxic masculinity and he's like an evil Captain America. But when you actually watch the show, you don't get many of that. Mother Milk calls Soldier Boy at one point just another racist piece of shit. But there is dialogue where Soldier Boy actually says that he considers Bill Cosby as the father of America. And again, the writers probably had that in to show that he is a sexist, misogynistic piece of shit. But when you think about it, when he was actually watching Bill Cosby, he had no idea about the sex scandal. He legitimately liked Bill Cosby as he was presented on television. Soldier Boy is also described as a person that has stolen valor. He never fought in the war. But when you actually see how he is like, he not only is very competent at fighting, which a lot of the other superheroes on the show clearly aren't, but he also constantly trained with his team, trying to improve. Throughout the entire season, Soldier Boy seems to be the only sup that actually keeps his word. He promised that he will take out Homelander, and that's literally what he does. And the only negative aspects of his character seem to be the fact that he is suffering from PTSD, and when hearing a certain music, he blacks out, and the explosion that he does causes the death of innocent people, but he seems to be unaware of it. In fact, he even seems to be very upset that this is happening when Huey brings it up, and says that I'm not a bad dude. Now, another thing that people bring up is that he hurt Ryan. But in reality, Ryan attacked Soldier Boy, and Ryan isn't just a child, he is a super-powered monstrosity with the ability of killing people with laser eyes. And Soldier Boy did not attack to kill, he just tried to incapacitate him because, again, he was being attacked by Ryan. So this is clearly a case of self-defense. Furthermore, and this is something that the writers definitely dropped the ball on, Starlight tells Huey that he shouldn't have teamed up with Soldier Boy because Soldier Boy is a murderer. And you realize that by season 3, all of them are murderers. Huey has killed, Butcher has killed, Frenchie has killed. In fact, Starlight herself, if I'm probably going to rewatch the whole seasons, I'm going to find examples where she's a murderer as well. Oh, actually, I do remember. It was the car scene where Huey was shot and they needed transportation. So she stops a random car in order to get Huey in. The driver doesn't want to give them the car, but instead offers to take them to the hospital, but Butcher has none of it. So Butcher and the car driver gets into an altercation, and Starlight just pushes the guy with her super strength and ends up killing him. So again, I find this to be really bad writing, or maybe Starlight is just a hypocritical piece of shit, when, again, everyone has killed innocent people. So really, the only thing that you can have against Soldier Boy is him being an asshole towards his teammates. But that's just from Noir's point of view, if we are to believe him. And the punishment he endured for that is 1,000 times full. I mean, he got tortured by the Russians for decades. He spent dozens of years locked up in a box. And why? Because he was an asshole to his teammates? Is that really a punishment fitting the crime? If I am to look at what Soldier Boy did from the top, is he trash talks, he's got a potty mouth, he's being a little bit edgy, and likes Bill Cosby. But other than that, I wouldn't consider him anywhere near the level of assholishness that Homelander displays. And I would definitely not consider him even remotely as dangerous and psychopathic as Homelander. And finally, there is one last thing that I really didn't like in the last season. The last season emphasized a lot on men who want to compensate for their weakness. And this is something that we noticed with Huey, where he got chastised by Starlight and many other people for taking Temp V. It was always viewed as him compensating for his weakness and trying to save a powerful woman, right? Like, that didn't need no man to save her. But at the same time, there's also another plot line with Kimiko, who loses her superpowers and she gets permanent V. But for some reason, that's viewed as empowering, that is viewed as wholesome, that is viewed as making her whole again. But when you look at the two, Kimiko didn't need to regain her powers. Like, her plotline was over. Frenchie managed to get her out. They all managed to survive. They could just go and live somewhere happy. Meanwhile, Huey had reasons for getting Temp V because Starlight was legitimately in danger and he was actually helping. And on top of that, there is the trauma of him losing his first girlfriend to a soup, and he couldn't do anything about it. He was completely powerless. But for some reason, him getting Temp V is viewed as toxic masculinity and being weak and pathetic, but Kimiko getting the permanent V is viewed as empowering and a wholesome moment. And I would think that that is definitely bad writing. But anyway, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.